Keep going after the dream, even when you don't think it's happening. That's what we see there. Go again, go back, keep looking. The rain is coming. Verse 43, and 7 times he said, go again. Sometimes you got to keep going back. Sometimes you got to keep looking. Sometimes you got to just have these moments where you say, you know what, I still believe it can happen. When God finally shows up, then you begin to get the sign that the moment is taking place. The opportunity is before us. In fact, I wrote this in your notes. Move ahead, putting things back together, even when God is blessing in the smallest way. So here's what's interesting. The belief is that the rain is coming. He sends the servant 7 times, Where is it there? Is the rain there? Comes back. No rain. No rain. On the 7th time, we see the breakthrough happen. But here's what's interesting. The breakthrough happens in such the smallest way. Like we're thinking about a drought ending, and we're thinking the drought is going to end because the flood. It just in an instant, here come the floods. But this is like that part of the song. There is a cloud. Here it is in verse 44. Then it came to pass the 7th time that he said, there is a cloud as small as a man's hand rising out of the sea. It's just a little cloud. There's a promise of big rain. There's a promise of abundance. There's a promise of a healing of the land through these incredible rains. And they go out and they look, and what do they see? What do they see? They see the gift of something the size of just a man's hand. It's just a cloud. I'm going to have the band come out as we close out our time together. I wrote this down in my notes. What do you do when you get an answer that seems so small? What do you do when you've been praying and you've been believing, and all you get as your first sign is something so itty-bitty? Well, let me tell you what you do. If you've been serving and you've been praying and you've been believing because there's a dream that God put in you, and you've been letting go of your idols and you've been moving down the right path, and all you get is something little in the midst of hoping for something big, here's what you do in that moment. Ready? You keep going. You keep serving. You keep honoring God. You keep sacrificing the false idols. You keep moving ahead. You keep praying. You keep believing. You're not going to let go, because what God is doing is He's giving you the first signs of what is to come. Though it may seem small in the moment, it's going to grow. It's going to grow into something more spectacular. It's going to grow into something that God is proving Himself fully. But many times it starts with just one little blessing. Verse continues on and it says this. So he said, go up, say to Ahab, prepare your chariot, go down before the rain stops. Tell Ahab, look, move the stuff, get it out of the way. The floods are coming. I know all you see is a small cloud right now, but the goodness that God has promised is on its way. Keep praising Him. And then it says this in verse 45. Now it happened in the meantime that the sky became black with clouds and wind, and there was a heavy rain. God starts showing up in something small, but then the floods come.